So when you walk into a massive sports bar and you see, like, 50 TVs playing 10 different games at once, you probably just assume it is magic. Or maybe just a terrifying rat's nest of cables hidden in some back room.
Yeah, usually the latter, honestly.
Right, but behind those screens is actually the $1,600 device that is basically destroying the traditional HDMI cable. Welcome to today's deep dive, where our mission is to decode a really technical product page from HDTVSupply.
And the product is the DVIGear DN-300T DisplayNet SDVoE Transceiver, which I know sounds like complete technical alphabet soup.
It really does, but let's break it down, because transceiver just means this one little box can either send or receive video, right?
Exactly. And the SDVoE part is where the actual magic happens. It stands for Software-Defined Video over Ethernet. So it literally just turns raw video into computer data.
Which is wild, because traditionally AGV distribution relied on these giant matrix switchers. I always kind of picture them like those old school telephone switchboards.
Oh, yeah, with the operators literally plugging cables in and out.
Exactly. You were strictly limited by how many physical wires you could jam into the back of a really heavy metal box.
Right, and you were completely constrained by that hardware. But by turning the video into data, this DVIGear unit changes the entire paradigm. It takes all of that heavy video and audio traffic and just routes it through a standard computer network instead.
But wait, if we were putting high-definition video onto a network, isn't it going to buffer? Like, if I am watching a live game, I really don't want to see a spinning wheel just because the network gets congested.
Like on a home Wi-Fi router.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Well, home Wi-Fi is kind of like a crowded, chaotic intersection, you know. Data packets are constantly stopping, yielding, sometimes crashing into each other.
Sounds about right for my house.
Right, but this system relies on dedicated 10 gigabit Ethernet network switches. So think of that as a private 100-lane superhighway. There is just so much bandwidth that the massive 4K video data never even has to be compressed.
Oh, wow. So it just never waits in line.
Exactly. It completely eliminates the lag. You get 0 frame latency and absolutely 0 image artifacts.
That is incredible.
And because you are using a network switch rather than a fixed hardware box, you get what the industry actually calls limitless expandability. You literally just keep adding ports to the switch to scale up to hundreds of screens.
Okay, so it goes over Ethernet. But cables have physical limits, right? I mean, I can't even run a standard HDMI across my living room without the signal dropping out.
Well, if you use standard copper wire, you can send that uncompressed 4K signal about 328 feet.
Which covers most commercial buildings, I guess.
Yeah, easily. But this unit also features a connection for single-mode optical fiber. And with that, you aren't just running it across a room. You can actually push this uncompressed video up to 30 kilometers.
Wait, 30 kilometers? That is almost 19 miles away.
Almost 19 miles, yeah. With absolutely 0 lag.
That is insane. It's essentially like playing a high-end video game or controlling a PC in a completely different neighboring city as if it were sitting right in front of you.
Which is fully possible, by the way, since the unit also features full USB 2.0 routing built in, so you can just plug in a remote keyboard and mouse.
I mean, controlling a PC from 19 miles away sounds like a complete IT nightmare to actually set up and manage, though.
It definitely sounds intimidating on paper. But the real-world application is surprisingly grounded. Our source actually includes a verified customer review from a retail manager named Victoria.
Oh, okay. What did she say?
Well, she deployed these transceivers across multiple retail locations. And she pointed out that despite the intimidating specs, the software makes the system incredibly intuitive.
So she didn't need, like, an engineering degree to run it.
Not at all. Everyday retail staff can easily operate the system without a hitch. The complexity is just entirely hidden behind a simple user interface.
That makes so much sense. I mean, think about those old matrix switchers that took up the space of a literal refrigerator.
Oh, they were massive and heavy.
Right, but now you can slide 4 of these silent, fanless DVIGear units side by side onto a single 1.5-inch shelf in a standard server rack. That's a one-use space.
It is a massive reduction in the physical footprint needed to run an entire sports bar or retail complex. We have really transitioned from an era of heavy, restrictive AV hardware to these ultra-compact devices.
Which leaves you, the listener, with something to really chew on long after this deep dive is over. Because if commercial 4K video distribution is now just software running over standard Ethernet networks with limitless expandability, well, you have to wonder.
Wonder what?
How long until everyday homes completely abandon traditional HDMI cables entirely? Imagine turning every single room into a plug-and-play digital canvas. Definitely something to think about the next time you're trying to untangle that awful mess behind your TV.